So you're probably on Instagram, maybe TikTok, maybe Facebook, basically the generic default places that most makers go to market their businesses. Today, I want to talk about 5 other places that you may not be going to market your business, but that might work really, really well for you. Some of these things you might not have even thought about as marketing your business, but they actually are. So we all know that in order to grow a business, we need to get the word out about it, right? And you have 2 currencies that you can use to do this. One is time and the other one is money. And most of us in the small business space, the handmade business space, the Etsy shop space, most of us are spending time because we don't have a lot of money to invest in advertising our business. Now, if you do want to advertise your business, I have a whole workshop about that in my membership community, the Thriver Circle. I'll put a link to it in the description below. I've just done a workshop on ways to advertise your handmade business without breaking the bank. But today I'm talking about ways to market your business using time that don't cost you any money. Okay, so the first one is Pinterest, but not just Pinterest generally. You know, it's great, yes, but there is this specific type of pin that you may not be using, but that I have found to be really effective at getting views and click-throughs, and that is idea pins. They used to be called story pins, so if I call them story pins, I apologize, but they're idea pins now, or video pins. And I found that these can be really effective at getting people's eyeballs on your stuff. Now, the thing about story pins is that they don't technically have a link. You can't actually click on them and have a link through to somewhere, but you can put your URL on the pictures or on the videos, and then people can go check you out from there. So if you've never used them before, I recommend you go use them. They're great. I use them to like showcase a particular type of product. So I'll show you some on the screen now that I have. There's one about earrings I have, another one for rings and stuff like that. And the second thing is video pins. So you can take your Instagram reel, your TikTok's video, your YouTube short, and just upload it as a video pin to Pinterest because it's that same portrait style video. And that will get you more traffic through Pinterest by just using a piece of content that you already have created. In fact, I strongly recommend that if you do use Instagram Reels or TikToks or anything like that, that you save that video and share it on the other platforms. The trick though is to make sure you're downloading it from wherever you've made it without the watermark, because it looks much better without the watermark. I know you can do that for Reels using a third-party app. Not sure about TikTok. So if anybody knows there's an app that allows you to download TikToks without the watermark, let us know in the comments below. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2 is emailing bloggers and or magazines. So these places still exist. Magazines are still out there. Bloggers are still out there. I guess I could have put influencers in here, but I'm going old school and we're talking about bloggers and magazines. These people are always looking for content, okay? I know, I run a magazine, I run a blog, like a design blog. I was always looking for people to feature. I was always looking for content. So if you have a good product and a good story, remember you've got to have a good story to go along with your product, then reach out to these people, and chances are if you've made the right connection, in other words, you've chosen a magazine or a blogger that's in line with your branding and your ideal customer, you might get featured for free on these platforms, and that can bring you a lot of traffic and a lot of interest. So don't forget, these old school PR ways of marketing your business are still very effective. And if you've never thought about doing it before, then it is a way to do it. Again, I have a workshop on getting started with PR in the Thriver Circle. So if you're a member, go check that out. If you're not a member, you can find out more about that below. It's my membership community for makers where I have a ton of video workshops specifically about handmade business and how to help you with that. I also do monthly live workshops, calls and chats. And my Your Year to Thrive course is in there. So when you join, you get access to my year-long Your Year to Thrive course, which is a course that'll teach you everything you need to know to start and grow a successful handmade business. So that's all inside the Thriver Circle. Okay, so let's talk about number 3, which is selling via wholesale. Okay, so you might be like, well, that's just another sales avenue, right? Yes, it is, but it's also a marketing opportunity, because when you get your work out into the real world, out into shops, people can see it, people can find you. And then if they like what they see, they can go look at your website and perhaps become a repeat customer. I've certainly done this numerous times where I've found a brand in a shop and then I've like looked them up and followed them on Instagram or checked out their website and then become a customer later on, even if I didn't buy from the shop where I saw their stuff originally. So think of wholesale as another marketing avenue as well as another sales avenue. And it's a great way to get your stuff in front of the right customers who might then become repeat customers personally, directly to you. The fourth one is your local neighborhood. Do you live in a neighborhood that has a neighborhood notice board? Like, again, we're talking old school here, where you print out a flyer and you go stick it on the neighborhood notice board. I certainly, in my town, there's a couple of them, and there's towns around me where there's some as well, and I could go and pin them up. There are also, especially if you do live in a small community like me, there might be shops that are willing to put up a flyer in their window, if you've got something coming up. Don't neglect that local marketing avenue. Heck, you could go put flyers in people's letterboxes. You could literally walk around your neighborhood and put a flyer about your business in local neighborhood letterboxes. Like, there's no reason you can't do that, except that you might never have thought to do that because, again, it's offline, old school style marketing, but it's available to you. It's something that you can do to reach out to your local community. And if you do this, definitely riff on the made local aspect. You want to say, hey, I'm a, whatever your neighborhood or whatever your city is, I'm a local maker and, I make my stuff right here, and give them like perks. Like maybe you want to say, I can work with you one-on-one. I can do local delivery. I offer pickup for local customers. Here's a coupon code to get free shipping if you buy on my website. Like, all of that sort of stuff is a great way to reach out and connect with those local customers. And the fifth one, very much in this vein of getting out into the real world, is going to markets. Just like selling wholesale, attending markets is not just about making the sale on the day. Attending markets is about getting your brand in front of new customers, potential customers, and new people who might then become repeat customers. Or again, they might not buy from you on the day, but they might follow you on Instagram, or they might sign up to your mailing list, and then they might come and buy from you in the future. It's all about getting your stuff out there in front of people in as many ways as possible. And attending markets, as long as they are the right market for your demographic, is a great way of doing this. Now, if you're not sure if a market is right for you, I always encourage people to go to a market as a buyer first and get a feel for it and see if it's a market that's going to work for their particular business. And also just make sure, talk to the market organizer, make sure that it's going to be the right demographic for you before you invest, because it can cost a little bit of money. Okay, so everything else here, is not necessarily going to cost you much except time, but attending a market could potentially cost you money. So that is something to think about. And since you stuck around to this point, I'm going to give you a bonus free one, which is something I have started doing, and I know a lot of people do this as well, but Facebook groups. Are you using Facebook groups? So it might be a group about your particular craft where you're allowed to market your business. It might be a group in your country about a handmade group, buy and sell group. Those are out there. You might want to reach out into local Facebook groups. Like, I don't know about you, but all of the little towns around where I live, every single one of them has its own local Facebook group. And we also have like a Sunshine Coast Facebook group for the larger region. And they allow businesses to post on certain days. And so I can go in there and I can post and share my work with everybody who's in that group. Again, like any sort of marketing, it might not pay off, but it might. You might get yourself in front of new people who will then go check you out and become your customer. And that is what marketing is about in the end of the day, is getting your story, getting your products out in front of people. And there's so many more ways to do that than just having an Instagram account. So which of these have you tried? Which of them are you going to try after watching this video? And do you have any other ideas for ways that people can get their work out into the world in front of new people and new customers that maybe you've tried or you've heard about that's worked really well? Let us know in the comments below. I would love to hear about it. And if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my future videos on how to have a thriving and profitable handmade business. And if you enjoyed this one, I'm going to leave you with a link to this video, which is 5 must-do tips for online success for handmade businesses. If you haven't seen that one, check it out next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.